not have butt-lines.
Next question, what is Lance?
Lance is, wait, who
Go back.
Lance is my tarantula.
You have a tarantula?
Yeah, that's so weird. Very uncuddly pet, but I think that's why I ended up getting Lance. Actually, originally I got Lance because I wanted to confront my fears fight.
Wow.
And here I am 12 years later. He's great. He's boring. Great. Actually, Lance is a girl. Okay, I've given Lance an identity crisis for 12 years. Create a character out of
America right now.
I love you so much.
I love you.
The question I have is kind of a downer, but your song "Face Up" was really inspirational when I was struggling with depression and all of that good stuff. And the question I have for you is, what advice do you have for people who are struggling with that, in addition to the song, obviously?
Well, yeah, I mean, when I wrote that song, I was going through a lot of stuff too, and I think it was like, it was an outlet for me for sure, making music. It was a way to like talk about what was inside of you. And it's funny because it's really hard to communicate what you're feeling just in words, and it's really hard to communicate it even to yourself and to try to understand it. And I think, and I've always been a firm believer in that we can only really confront and discuss intangible things with intangible things. And music is one of those things. It just kind of exists out there. You can't burn it. And that's one of those things that can pull that out of you. So writing music for me was really powerful because it was like a way of being able to make it all part of the same thing and manifesting it into something that was very productive. When you're productive and when you create something you're proud of, you actually feel really good about yourself. And it really counterbalances the whole battle as it is. So yeah, writing music was good. Talking about what I was talking about in that song was one thing, and I don't know if I fully believed it when I wrote it. But you know, years later now, 10 years later, when I still play that song, I remember where I was, and I'm really fucking proud of myself. Because you know what? We get through what we got through, and we become better and stronger for it. And I think that's just part of our journey. It doesn't mean we're broken, it doesn't mean we're weak. It's just part of how we became strong. It's part of our origin story, you know? So you're gonna look back someday and be proud. I hope you do.
Hi. Not to say I'm like a sad train, but
We're like on a sad train. I've been through it. You know what? I love crying. I really do. I was having this conversation yesterday, like, someone came up to me and you're just like, I just love crying. I'm like, me too. I just, when you're in
everyone needs a good cry.
You know what? I like to cry at least once a day. Make sure I get it.
I'm actually about to recently confront my PTSD in therapy from growing up in an abusive childhood, and I was wondering, how do you like keep that bravery to stay on that track and really face everything? Like, how do you get there in the first place? Because I've actually had nightmares come back. It's been so bad for me. I barely get any sleep at night.
Well, power to you in this journey. I mean, it's not easy, and I mean, I'm lucky enough to say that I didn't have to deal with that. So what you're going through, no one should have to deal with, but here we are, and you know what, like I said, it's part of our origin story. It's part of what makes us powerful at the end of the day. That's what the whole comic is about, too, if you've had a chance to read it. You know, it's flawed, and there's mistakes, and there's sadness, and there's weakness, but in the end, you can only find that light through the darkness, and I know that you're gonna get there. You just have to keep your head up, keep your face up. My dad always used to say that to me. I'd call and I'd be all sad at home because I was living on my own for the first time and dealing with depression and a lot of stuff. And I'd be like, what if I wake up and like I don't have anybody, you know, like lots of lonely thoughts that plague your mind. And just keep your eyes up, keep looking, keep pressing forward. It's not easy, but nothing is worth it. Power to you.
Alright.
It's okay, we just
Established that. Okay, so I'm Kiki. Nice to meet you. You're pretty awesome.
Thank you.
So I am a theater major at Rocker. Where did we go to school? It's been a long day, ladies. Is
it the school, like the university here?
No, it's in Rock. We're from we're like 3 hours. We came to see you, bro.
Yeah, thanks for your time.
She's the
I drove 4 hours.
So you're the driver.
I'm the driver.
Who has the mic? Okay.
That's her mom.
Okay, sorry. So I'm a theater major at our university, and a lot of us deal with a lot of like frustration when it comes to like our future, And we're kind of like, and if I'm at the point right now where I just don't know where it's going to take me, and for someone who's like been so successful in like such a very trying time, like how do you convince yourself to keep going even though like it's not promised to no one? So
yeah, you know what? That's the way it is with arts. I think that's the way it is with anything. Like, and in particular arts, there's no specific pathway that gets you to a career. That's the way music is. That's the way acting is. That's the way all of that stuff is. I wish there was a book that told people how to get there, but there isn't. So I think the best thing you can do for yourself is just have a vision and chase it and do the work. I think that's one of the things that I've learned, especially with making the comic for this record. I mean, I would have never thought I would be capable of something like that, but I committed myself to what I wanted to complete at the end of the day, and then did whatever I had to do in between time to complete my goal. So it doesn't mean if it works out that way for someone else, or the way someone else's career worked out, forget that. The worst thing you can do in arts and creativity is compare yourself and your journey to someone else's. Compare your triumphs and compare your milestones to somebody else's. It's going to be different. Just set your vision and just go for it and put that work in, and you'll achieve amazing things. You'll be so proud.
You're so amazing.
You're really adorable. You have such a good vibe, and you're just glowing. So I think you are going to achieve wonderful.
Hey Mama, how you doing?
How are you?
Great. I just want to know what your favorite wine is.
Oh, that's a great question. Very well done. Is your hair green? I like it. It looks really good on you. Moscato. The ultimate one. We try to do Moscato like almost every day, and every day I'm like, this is not for this.
What's your favorite drink?
Yeah, that's my favorite wine.
Okay.
Does that count as wine? I don't know.
Yes.
But it counts as wine, right? Oh, yeah.
What's your favorite?
Yeah.
Try.
It is my favorite one. I moved on from white Zinfandel, okay, so it's a little bit better.
Wow. What's your favorite liquor? Do you have a liquor?
Tito's.
Tito's?
Tito's vodka. We do one called a production meeting before every show. It's just a shot. Production meeting is shot team.
It's very professional.
Yeah.
Hi, Lights.
Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you? I just want to say thanks for blessing us with the beautiful comic and the beautiful songs that you've given us, because they just go hand in hand and they're wonderful. And my question is, how long did it take you to decide on the symbol that you used for Skin and Earth, and what inspired you for that particular symbol?
That's a good question. So, if you guys were with me for the Little Machines era, there was a symbol that went with that era. And there's a lot of discussion in terms of what that means, but it actually is really just my hair. It's like my hair and then my face and then like a cog in it. So it was like, so waiting so long here. People are like, is it an eye? Is it this? It's Freudian. But yeah, whatever you have. But so that symbol, I then took that and wanted something that was similar to that to represent everything for this album cycle. And so I kind of inverted it and then put something in the center of it. And if you read the comic, and even if you haven't, it doesn't matter, it represents a soul. I think that there's a lot regarding music and creativity that has to do through soul. I remember way at the beginning, before we coined the term Lights Army collectively, it was soldiers from Drive My Soul. And in the comic, when you get to the end of the book and everything makes sense, the symbols are, we're born, we live, and then we move on and go back to the earth, and there's this cycle. And there's a lot to do with souls within the comic as well. So yeah, it's a symbol for us. We all got soul here.
Thank you.
Time for two more.
Hi, I'm Brittany.
Nice to meet you.
Me and Christine, this is my best friend. We're going on Carrboro this year.
Fun.
We wanted to go last time whenever you had it.
Yeah.
I actually met your husband that year
Yeah.
whenever they were touring in Winston-Salem, and you have a beautiful family. I
Oh,
just wanted to tell
thank you. Thank you.
And I was just curious, do you and him like bounce ideas off each other a lot for writing songs and all that kind of stuff, or do you just kind of keep it separate?
It's, you know what, it's sometimes like we respect that we are in different genres and we don't understand or don't try to think we know about the other genre, because it's not, I don't write metal and he doesn't write pop. So, you know, we'll show each other stuff so that we can be proud of each other, but I'm never like, you know, this bridge, change me up. This breakdance,
do better.
Does Rocket have a favorite genre?
She likes both. She likes both of our stuff all the time. And she remembers all of it as equal. Like she doesn't see them as different genres. She just
That's so cute.
hears the thing. But the funny thing is, and then this is the one thing I do, tell him, and then we talk to each other about basic songwriting stuff that is like across the board things. And it's like at the end of the day, you can have whatever you want in the track and whatever you want the instruments doing, but people are drawn to what you say and are drawn to how that's said and the melodies that exist there. So that has to be a very important part of the song. I think that's like a forgotten element of a lot of pop music today.
The lyrics are always the most important.
It's what people connect with, and that's what conveys your message. And yeah, we always, Rocket's a good tester because she's like, if she remembers it, and her most memorable song is Giant.
Aww.
Yeah.
One more.
Since we're in a college town, we are wondering, would you take fireball shots with us?
Oh, well, okay. I did some like college courses online and stuff, but never went to college. But
Don't do it.
but I feel like around the college age is when I destroyed any chance I'll ever have of having fireball again. Like that happened with Southern Comfort, that happened with Jägermeister, and that happened with Fireball. I think those three liquors that experience would just prevent me from ever having a drink.
Patron is good too.
I haven't had a bad night with Patron yet, so I don't know about Fireball. I honestly don't think I can handle it. I don't think I could.
I'm out of that one.
I think that during my college years, online was just crazy, guys. This all happens on a bus.
Yeah, that's how we ended up in the Moscato, I think.
Yeah, it's a little more tame. Little Tito's. Blood, sweat, and Tito's. That's how we get mine.
Blood, sweat, and
I swear I don't want to do that.
Oh my god, this is my favorite part of everything.
This is DCF back here.
So DCF is back here.
He's playing first tonight. He's awesome.
We love him. We love him.
He's our beacon in the night. He's taking
He's
photos.
wearing a Backstreet Boys shirt.
He always has a good pop shirt on every day. Yeah. What is it? A Backstreet Boys shirt? Nice.
Yeah.
Killer.
So DCF is going to get you guys all lined up. We're going to move into the meet and greet photo op portion of our festivities. So he's going to get you all lined up. We have an amazing backdrop over there that somebody awesome drew.
Oh, what? DCF wasn't done that.
So if you have something that you want to get signed, bring that up when it's your turn to come up for a photo. And we have a good amount of time today, but we just always ask you to be mindful that we do have to open the doors so the rest of the people can come in at 7 o'clock. So we will spend some time hanging out over there, and everybody will get a chance to say hi and take some photos. We'll see you over there in a minute.
You know, if you're,
Do you listen to K-pop?